Severe storms caused damage in several Connecticut communities. That includes Litchfield, where trees fell on top of empty school buses. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is going around the state looking for some of this damage. We'll go to him live in Bloomfield in about 2 minutes from now.
Scary scene there on those buses. Yeah. Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for checking in with us. I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Bridget Bjorla. We just had so many rounds of weather last week. This week, the ground is wet, and we're seeing the aftermath now.
Yeah, absolutely. Not surprised. We had some storm damage from northwestern Connecticut all the way up to northeastern Connecticut. So we had those strong storms move through overnight while a lot of us were sleeping. Anywhere between about, I would say, 9 and midnight is when we had the bulk of the storms move through. A couple of those popping up yesterday afternoon as well. Now what's left in its place, a mostly cloudy sky. We also have some rain now approaching portions of Sharon. We do have a brief downpour along Route 112 as well as Route 44. So heads up for folks. Canaan, you're up next for a brief downpour. Cornwall, northern Cornwall, you're up next too for a downpour as well. Over in New Haven right now, here's the clouds. Temperatures are around 76 degrees. While we don't have widespread issues in terms of fog, definitely want to be mindful that there could be some patchy dense fog on your drive this morning. Temperatures out the door around 70 degrees in Torrington, 74 in Bridgeport. We're around 74 degrees in Willimantic. It is a very muggy start to our morning. The humidity, even though we had those storms overnight, really aren't doing anything for our numbers in terms of the humidity over the course of the next couple of days. They stay elevated today and really for the next couple. We'll see a little bit of sunshine later on today. Temperatures move into the mid to upper 80s, but it's going to feel a little bit more like near 90 degrees in the afternoon, given the fact that we are just so humid. 85 degrees in New Haven, at 87 in Hartford, southeastern Connecticut in the lower to middle 80s. We do have a rain chance on the way for tonight into tomorrow morning. We'll have more details on that. Time it out for you coming up in just a bit. 6:02 on the roads this morning. Not much to get to on the roads as things are running mostly smooth across most of the state. We don't have any incidents to alert you to at this hour. There's that fog I was talking about over towards 95 near the Clinton Old Saybrook area, and then also towards Waterbury this morning too. So just give yourself a little extra time in the area. Your drive times though, Windsor to the 84 interchange is a nice 3-minute drive. New Britain Ave to the Hartford Tunnel is 5. Glastonbury to the Founders Bridge, Route 2 is 6 minutes. Over to you.
All right, Rachel, thanks. 6:02 now, and hundreds of people across our state are without power this morning following last night's storms.
Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is joining us live from Bloomfield now. That's where crews worked overnight to restore the power to folks there. Glenn, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Bridget. Erica, as we were driving around Bloomfield, we saw some of the damage that the storm left behind, some downed branches and leaves across roadways, and that's really indicative of the damage that's been seen across the state from last night's storm surges. We checked the outage map not too long ago, I want to say about 5 minutes ago. In Connecticut right now, there's just about over 700 people without power, and right here in Bloomfield, that number was at 300. As of this morning, it's down to about 20 according to the Eversource outage map, so we're going to keep on looking at that. Right here behind me on Park Avenue, just down the road from here, there's about 5 or 6 people still without power. There was an Eversource crew on scene there earlier in the morning. Right now, the Eversource outage map says that crew is just evaluating the outage at this time. There's still no ETA as to when those 5 or 6 people are going to be with power again. We're going to keep you updated on the outage map as we learn more. Now across the state, there was some storm damage in Norwalk. We're going to show you some pictures of that now. This is from the Norwalk Police Department. They say they're continuing to get calls about downed trees and power lines, and this photo was shared in just one of the roads that's blocked, and they're urging people to slow down and give yourself extra time this morning, and remember to never get near or drive over downed wires. Now, we've also learned that Eversource crews are in Old Lyme on Still Lane. Old Lyme firefighters say there are downed wires and trees there. They're asking folks to avoid that area at this time. We're going to continue to keep everyone updated on the outages across our state as the morning goes on, but for right now, live in Bluefield, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
All right, Glenn, appreciate it. Thank you. And people in Litchfield also saw some storm damage. Several trees came down across the town and created quite the scene there.
Yeah, Fox 61 was out there to get a better look at the impact. Our crew saw a tree on top of 3 buses. My goodness, what a scene there. Lakeview High School along Bantam Road has a lot of trees down, and one is even on the roof of an office building on the property. Bantam Road was partially closed last night because of the tree branches in the road. And once the storm passed, a lot of people walked around the area to get a good look at all the damage.
Just driving by, looking at all the damage there is, I was amazed at how many trees came down, and I understand 3 buses were hit, so yeah, just checking things out and looking at the crew, taking care of it.
Well, the tree cleanup companies are doing their part to clear the roads. It's unclear right now when the power is going to be back on for some people who are there. Well, Connecticut was under flood warning for much of yesterday. Experts say we should not take them lightly after deadly floods in Texas. Advocates say it's a wake-up call for local cities. Fox 61's Raven Blue has more on that.
Floods tore through the Texas Hill Country, leaving over 100 people dead. That might seem like a distant disaster, but experts say something similar could happen here.
The flooding in Texas is definitely devastating, and it is a cautionary tale for us here in Hartford.
Hartford community advocate Bridget Prince is sounding the alarm for residents, city and state officials to be mindful that Connecticut is at the beginning of its storm season, which means there is the potential for flooding even in urban areas.
People here, specifically in the urban community here on Albany Avenue and all points in the north end of Hartford, need to be mindful because it floods and it floods heavily.
Flooding that Connecticut is not a stranger to. In 2024, a devastating flood swept through the Naugatuck River Valley that left 2 people dead and caused millions of dollars in damages. But while flash flooding is difficult to predict when and where it will happen, there are steps residents can do in case of one. William Turner, State Emergency Management Director for the Connecticut Division of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, says being prepared is key to dealing with flooding.
It's a difficult situation sometimes to be in, but the important thing is that you have a plan and you thought this through, both for yourself and your family and your pets, of if you're in a situation where you get one of those flash flood emergency warnings.
Turner says emergency management works closely with the National Weather Service to get alerts out to residents through its emergency alert and notification system as soon as possible, and says when those alerts happen, people need to take it very seriously.
It means that you and your family may be at risk and you need to take action to keep you and your family safe.
Turner also says if you are in a safe position, don't try and go out into the water.
The last thing you want anybody to do is get in their car and try to drive. It only takes about 6 inches of water to move a person and maybe 12 inches of moving water to move a small car.
Turner says if water does come into your home, move to a higher floor, but be cautious when you do.
We definitely don't want people to go into an attic where you may become trapped. If you find yourself in a situation, move to a higher floor, get close to a window. If it continues to rise and you can safely do so, we even encourage people to get onto the roof and call 911 for assistance and rescue.
Turner says there are also ways you can protect your home from floodwaters, like using sandbags. For more information and to register for the emergency alert and notification system, you can find the link on fox61.com. In Hartford, Raven Blue, Fox 61.
Rescue crews and volunteers are looking for more than 160 people this morning who are still missing after flash flooding in central Texas. This is one of the largest search operations in Texas history. Crews are using airboats, helicopters, and even horseback to search for victims.
Texas will not stop until we finish the job. We will not stop until we identify, recover every single body.
And crews maintain this is still a search and rescue mission. It is not a recovery just yet. Questions remain, though, about how much warning people got before the disaster struck. The National Weather Service sent out multiple warnings, but many were in the middle of the night, and many people who did get them say they still did not know how serious the situation would be.
If you heard a flash flood warning, no one would know that that would be a 30-foot high tsunami wall of water.
And one of the hardest hit areas was an all-girls Christian summer camp called Camp Mystic, where at least 27 campers and counselors died during the floods. 5 campers and 1 counselor are still missing. Records show Texas inspectors approved the camp disaster plan 2 days before the deadly flood. Deliberations are expected to resume today in the Raul Valley murder trial. Jurors are still deadlocked on that murder charge and certain aspects of the 3 assault charges as well.
Fox 61's Alicia Hercules has been following the trial from day one. She's getting us an update from Milford.
The jury continued their deliberations. We learned on Monday that the jury was deadlocked on the murder charge, and we learned Tuesday that the jury was also unable to reach an agreement on the 3 assault charges Valley faces. Judge Sherry Murphy began the day with instructions to the jury to go back to the deliberations room. She told the jurors to see if they could come to a decision together on the murder and 3 assault charges Raul Valley faces. Valley said he was acting in self-defense at a Shelton House party in 2022 when he stabbed 4 people. 17-year-old James McGrath died and 3 other people were hurt. At the time of the stabbings, Valley said he was attacked by at least 20 people. The jury sent another note to the judge during deliberations to listen to Valley's testimony regarding the fight.
The jury would like to hear Valley's testimony concerning if he knew Tyler DeSilva was on the street when he returned from the Honda Pilot and they crossed paths. Did he recognize that it was Tyler? The video shows they crossed.
Part of the direct and cross-examination of Valley was played again for the jury to hear.
I saw my best friend inside that club. Nobody was helping him.
The 12-person jury, made up of 6 men and 6 women, has spent about 12 hours deliberating the case so far. Both the defense and the prosecution agreed with the judge to encourage the jury to continue with deliberations. The judge also instructed jurors to go over any and all evidence and maintain respectful conduct during deliberations. The jury will be back in the courtroom on Wednesday to continue working towards a verdict. In Milford, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.